back again to do what I do. And excuse me for the jingling, that's my necklaces, my African necklace, and my ankh. And welcome to another EBX discussion. And I know you're doing okay, and I know you're doing great. Because like I always say, because you are alive and breathing. And let's get to them honors. Honor thy ancestors. Honor my father. Honor my mom, which is still alive and vibrant. And may my dad rest in peace and in power. And I welcome you soldiers and soldierettes. Salute! Welcome in, to another uplifting, spiritual insight that my great creator sends to me and many other brothers and sisters like me that's out there, and also yourselves. Because we have to always focus on our psyche and always update ourselves. Because what stands in the way becomes the way. Be led by the truth and only the truth. And if you're led by the truth, you don't have to worry about no fear. Even when we make mistakes, and it's not always easy to stick to the truth. Sometimes following the truth, being led by the truth, sometimes you have to do it alone. But as long as you're righteous, you're on the right path. And stay away from bandwagons. Stay the hell away from bandwagons. Focus and stay on point. Because this social media, this new world, this new age, this weird planet that we're living on, it really, if you're not careful, you can lose yourself. And this is male or female, if we're not careful out here in this social media jungle. And, I'm one's a human being like we all are. We all make mistakes. We all do things, that we don't mean to sometimes. We all have obstacles that we face, challenges that we face. But if you are a rooted spiritual brother or sister and you true within yourself and you know who you you already know the great creator is in control. Period. The great creator is over anything. No one is greater than the creator. You've heard me say before. No person, place, or thing. I don't give a good goddamn what they have or who they are. And I don't mean that in a negative or kind of a bad way. That's how passionate I am about my creator. One should be appreciative of the blessings and the achievements that they have got along the way. And also should be grateful for the people that have helped them along the way. We always have to be gracious and humble in some areas, but we have to watch that humbleness too, because we don't want to be naive. But we do have to have some level of humbleness, because as we all know, teachers say out here, brothers and sisters, salute soldiers and soldierettes. That's what keeps us balanced. But once we can stay connected to our great creator and know that he's in control, and you know what you know, and you don't believe, and because something I've learned from a great teacher that's helped me on this walk. When we walk with truth, when we are led by the truth, we no longer believe, we know. And knowing is what? And I know this is a cliche and this is not my saying, but knowing is the battle. And I would say that's the battle. I wouldn't even say half the battle, because once you know and you have knowledge of self, you are pretty much have won that battle in your mind. And once you, like we always know, once you win that war in your mind, you can conquer anything on the outside, because that's the most challenging thing in our lives is our mind. And we all can agree on that. But if you get a hold of that strong power, if you finally get a hold of that strong spiritual great thing that the great creator has put in you, my brothers and sisters, try your best to hold on to it. Be very careful out here in this social media jungle. Like I say, weed through the weeds in this social media jungle. And in life in general, I don't want to just size it down to social media, but like a lot of us do, we use social media in examples and in analogies, because social media is such a big thing now. It's the thing. So that's why it's used in a lot of examples. And sometimes you have to be a little standoffish. You have to go into your solitude. You have to take those alone times and really assess things. And don't do what everybody else is doing. Stay away from them damn bandwagons. Because, we're all human. We all can get caught up. And a lot of times, a lot of us mean well, but we have to watch ourselves that we don't get caught up in the bandwagons and the distractions and the bait. I would say the bait that they throw, that entities can throw in social media to get everyone's attention, and it's like everybody bites that bait. And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and you can do this too, and anyone can. I'm not one of those that bite the bait. I walk in my own lane, but I'm for all. I'm for my brothers and sisters. I'm for the uplifting of anyone deemed to be uplifted. But who I put first and what I put first is my great creator and Mother Nature. No one is before that. After that is children, family, and whoever's connected to me that's righteous. And one thing I've learned in this life, we're not going to please everybody. But we stay with the great creator because he's in control. Stay away from trying to prove ourselves, and, just keep speaking things into existence. Keep being extraordinary. Keep being that righteous brother or sister that you are. And again, like you always hear me say, don't give a shit about what's before you. Focus on what's important for you and your family and your walk. And treat everyone, and I'm sure I don't have to tell nothing nobody else knows, but we already know this. Treat everyone with respect, and don't take things personal. Always assess yourself before you assess others, and that will give you an easy, smooth life and an easy, smooth walk. And the creator can work with that, male or female. And that's something that those that are in the beginning stages of awakening, you're going to come into, I've said this, on a recent video, you're going to come into some confusion. You're going to come into things that you won't understand, those that are in the beginning stages. Those that have awakened, we know this. So that's why I always speak on those that are in the baby stages of self-awareness, because it's a really challenging and sometimes tough transition, especially when you've been indoctrinated and things have been embedded in you. You're used to doing things your whole life for so long, and it's been decades and years, and I won't say decades, but it's just been years you've been living a certain way and knowing certain traditions and just been doing the same thing. And when you finally hit that truth, it's like skirt, boom, everything comes to a grinding halt. Everything you ever knew, everything you ever learned, everything that you thought you knew comes to a grinding halt when you're led by that truth. When you finally get a hold of that truth, like I said, which is not easy, which is very, very challenging. But once we finally do, my soldiers and soldierettes, salute. It's a challenging road, but it has its benefits. And what do I always say, ladies and gentlemen? What we do righteous in the present will always benefit us in the future. Even though sometimes it's not easy. But as we all know, those of us that are righteous, we always know in the end, the Creator, Mother Nature, and the universe will work in our favor. And those that are awakened, enlightened, pay attention to those signs. Don't be afraid of those signs. And I've said this, research those dreams. Go deeper within yourself. And when you come into, I won't say a confrontation, but I say a disagreement, something you don't understand, whether it's person, place, or thing. Don't just, if we can, ladies and gentlemen, this is something I strive on, our impulses and our emotions, because this was a very, very challenging area for me, very. And I never thought that I could conquer it. So my brothers and sisters, that's why you always hear me talk about that area of, if you come into a disagreement with a person, place, or thing. Never go off your emotions. And the reason why I say that, and a lot of us do, because we can learn so much more about each situation that we encounter when we go deep and we assess ourselves in that situation or person or place. And because a lot of times, like I said, a lot of times, and I see it a lot of times in this life, we can just miss, it could be a misunderstanding a lot of times. And when you go off your emotions, you'll think back, and if you don't make that right choice, and you've done a lot of things off of an impulse, a bad impulse, and sometimes if it's really bad, it's really hard to go back and try to fix it. So that's why at the moment, if we're entering something that's kind of making us feel kind of disagreeable, we assess that, and make sure we assess that individual or person or place, how they are, and if they're rooted, a good righteous individual within their heart, then it's just a little disagreement and that's it. But a lot of times we don't get to that point because we don't take the time to study situations that we encounter and why some of the situations end up the way they are. That's why I always say, and a lot of us brothers and sisters and teachers do, that's why we always say assess ourselves, so we can pinpoint exactly whether it's discomfort, disagreement, negative energy, whatever kind of energy that's making you feel discomfort. So we assess ourselves so we can pinpoint and know exactly where it's coming from. So that's why I titled this, What Stands in the Way Becomes the Way. So, and you can't be in denial, you can't ignore it. And remember, my brothers and sisters, what I teach to thee is also what I teach to myself, because this also lifts oneself also. So, like I said, if you don't fix what stands in your way, whatever that is, it will become the way. And sometimes when we're in denial and we're not paying attention to these little obstacles, because so like T.I. said in his song, I won't take his quote, but like he said, big things popping, small things stop it. And that's real talk. So that's why we really have to, that's why you hear a lot of us say, be in tune with yourself, and you will understand the world so much better, and you will learn that great discernment that a lot of us have, and you will be able to anticipate things. It will help you to create ways and solutions to deal with challenges and problems. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. And always be led by the truth, no matter what, even when it's not easy. You will feel better. You will thank yourself. It's the gift that keeps on giving when you're led by that truth. And again, stay the hell away from bandwagons. And some of us can't help it, Like I said, we got a lot of good brothers and sisters, out here reaching and teaching. And just think of me as a brother that, if I see something that, my people, I think some of my people are doing and I want to help, just think of it as like that. We got to stay on the mission, stay on helping each other grow and inspire each other to know more than what we are, and to go higher than we are, and to help others. That's all I'm saying, my brothers and sisters, my soldiers and soldierettes. Salute. Stick to the mission of helping us grow, no matter where we are and who we are, if we are righteous. Because, well, like I said, when you're righteous, there is no wrong path. It's just a little more challenging. Some of us have it a little more challenging than others. That's all. But if we're melanated and we're righteous, we're all reaching that same higher place that I always say. We're all searching for the same thing at the end of the day. It's just we all are going there, different journeys in different ways. But at the end of the day, for anybody that's out there struggling, the great creator is always in control, period, no matter what's before you. That's why you can't be afraid to go to the great creator, to go to that spiritual realm. Don't feel weird about it. No, be strong in your convictions, and you will see things come to you. You have to speak things into existence, strong, firm, and you have to know it, not believe, know. Because when you know knowledge of self, there is no faith. There is no believing. There is knowing. There is a firm walk with the truth. Steadfast. There is no wavering. There is no doubt. That's how the great creator works. He can't work with somebody shaky and weary and self-doubt. He can't work with that. How you gonna work with that? Because if he's giving you the power and he's giving you the strength to give you the power to know knowledge of self and be confident, you have to be confident. We have to be. And fear isn't even an option. And it don't mean, it's not about being a gangster. It's not about being hard. It's not about being tough. It's about being true to oneself and lifting others to do the same and not forcing ideologies onto each other. Being led by the truth and being led by our great, great creator. Because Mother Nature, the great creator, rules over all. And that's what I'm led by. And that's why I'm able to speak things into existence with a small amount of subscribers and views, because that's not what I do this for. It's good to express. It's always the great creator can't hear us if we're not expressing those things that we want from the universe and Mother Nature. We have to express them. And yes, we can express them through speaking on social media. That's one of the wonderful things. You extract the good things from social media. That's why I always keep it positive, no matter what. And authenticity will always see you through. And that's one of the great gifts that a lot of us brothers and sisters have. My soldiers and soldierettes, salute. So stick with that truth. Never stop. Stopping is not even an option. It's not even in our vocabulary. Those are with a high vibration. And I will do this until the day I transition. Because this is what the great creator has put in a lot of us. And remember, we all have many gifts. And it's not always speaking, and it's not always rapping. But it's great to speak and speak to my soldiers and soldierette, because I love lifting. Because it was a time where one didn't talk and I did a lot of listening, and a lot of brothers and sisters got me to this point. So I'm taking the torch and I'm carrying it on to you brothers and sisters. And never forget, the great creator is in control. No matter what's before you, if you righteous, the great creator got you. And remember, what stands in the way becomes the way. So fix whatever little stronghold or whatever that's in your mind that nobody else knows about, that you're not dealing with. Deal with it. Because it's something I've learned on this walk, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't deal with those little stupid, idiotic things that we have going on inside of us, they will fester later on down the road. So fix it, change it, work on it. Don't give up. Whatever you got to do. Read books, listen to somebody, research. Whatever you have to do to keep your psyche sane. And stay the hell away from bandwagons. And stay focused. Don't go with, like I always say, don't go with the rest of the flock. Don't go with the rest of the crowd. But stay righteous. As long as you're not hurting yourself and you're not hurting no one else. And stay focused. And again, stay on point. Because when you're righteous, the great creator always protect the righteous. And that's my message. And we can do these things and keep these in our psyche. And this is mostly for those of you in the beginning walk of self-awareness. Because that's a weird place to be. But when you finally get it, you'll know when you know. And the great creator in the universe and Mother Nature will let you know. Pay attention to the signs. Keep your spirit full. And always study that great power of discernment, so you can be ready for things that come off the left. Because a lot of times we can be going full throttle. Everything can be going right. You have to keep yourself in anticipation mode. Not paranoid, but when things do come, it won't be that big of a blow. That's something I've taught myself, and I'm passing that on to you, brothers and sisters, my soldiers and soldierettes. Salute! And I give honor to my children, my children's mothers, my family, brothers and sisters that's teaching, Brothers and sisters all over the world, may you have peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. One.